Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Tuesday, the 15th of Rabi'ul Akhir 1445, corresponding with the English date 31st of October 2023. Hazrat Wala is saying the Kitab of Ibn Ataullah Iskandari. Hazrat Haji Saheb approached and he came and he says that Ashraf Ali, translate this kitab, it will be of great benefit to the people. This is taking place in Makkah Mukarramah. Hazrat Tanwi said that I was not deserving or worthy of doing that, but it was the hukam of my sheikh, so slowly I started doing that, and I would say and show it every day to Hazrat Haji Imdadullah. After reading out the different topics and articles in this book, I can say, our Hazrat Wala is saying that Hazrat Tanwi had established his usul and his entire ta'limat based on this particular kitab. Koilaya, somebody brought in Maulana Sher Mohammad, and how much of time, and for so many long months, the entire year, I've been reading from it. But my estimation is such that he has based his entire ta'limat on this kitab. There are such type of articles wherever you open up from. So Allah Ta'ala Sahih Tariq se aga farma de, un par chalaye, and Allah Ta'ala make us acquainted, inform us of the correct path to Him, and let us walk that path. Make us walk that path, because without the correct path, a person can never reach his goal, his destination, and his objective will never be achieved. So the most important is tariq ma'rifat, understanding this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So tariq, what is this tariq all about? A person was asked about where is he going. So he answered, this is in Gulista. I'm going to Arabistan. I'm going to the Arab. So he was told, most probably you may be saying that, but the route that you are on is actually going in the opposite direction to Turkestan, to Turkey. People would come to Hazrat Tanwi. Now here, this particular kitab, the topic here for today, speaking about it, that hikmat takhliq wa ijad ke bayan kar dene mein logo ko batla dena aur aga karna ke kis waste paida hue. That the secrets that people should be informed, for what reason have they actually been created, so that they may not be ignorant regarding Allah's objective and in them and regarding them. And if they are not, if they are ignorant regarding that, they may go off the path of Hidayat, and they may not be considerate towards what they have actually been created for. People used to come to Hazrat Tanwi and they used to start off some wazifa, and then he would say that you have come here to me and you started off with that wazifa without even asking. It was greatly possible, like how it was said to that person, that you intending to go to Arabistan, but you are on the road to Turkestan. So many times it happens, there is a staircase this way, a gully that way, this way, and so many a persons, instead of reaching, they slip off the path and reach somewhere else. They're confused, asking here, asking there. It happens. So tariq ke adab or mashayikh ke adab, the etiquettes of this path to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the etiquettes towards a sheikh. So Allah Ta'ala Sahih Tariq par chalaye, or ponchaye. Allah Ta'ala let us walk the correct path, and Allah Ta'ala let us reach our destination and our goal. Sometimes people used to come to Hazrat Tanvi and he would ask them that why have you came and why have you come, what are you doing? They would not even know. And then he would go on to say that when you do not even know this year, then what do you wish to achieve? He was trying to bring to their attention, keep your maqsad in front of you. Understand your goal and maqsad. So that person who comes, he says to him, you started reading this kitab and that kitab. It was greatly possible that I was going to tell you that you must start off with the Takhdi or Qaida al-Baghdadi. You are reading that kitab and this kitab of Suluk and Tasawwuf. That's not for you. You know, on one occasion, it was just in my initial years, I just started and I was started studying and reading the kitab Itqan of Imam Nawawi. So, and I brought some ibarat and I brought it to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb. I mean, nobody could even approach him. I went there, Damadi in the house, etc., son-in-law, and I showed him this year. So he said to me that who told you to read this kitab? Who told you to read this particular kitab? No, this is not for you now. Similarly, our ulama have not given the ijazat to read the kitabs and books of Ibn Arabi. It would be greatly possible there that there are many things that will not, you will not be able to understand. There are many things that you would not be able to understand. So in this kitab, there are so many things that we can learn. It is written that there are 4 from amongst the angels that every day they discuss this particular matter. And the one says, if only this makhluk would have never ever been created, referring to Hazrat Insan, you and I. The second farishta goes on to say that, woe, alas, if they have been created, if they only knew why they have been created. The third one still adds and goes on to say that, okay, they know why they haven't been created, but they're not practicing on what they're supposed to be practicing on. They're not making amal. And the fourth one still then goes on to say, okay, listen, they're not practicing. They're not making amal. If they could only make tawbah over that which they had carried out, meaning they did not carry out the correct. Now tell me, did you hear mazameen like this year? Allah Ta'ala give us the tawfiq and the hidayat of carrying out righteous deeds and good deeds. Hikmat ki kitab. This is a kitab filled with wisdom. Eventually there in Makkah Mukarramah, we went to go and look for original, and it was brought to me at about 2 a.m. in the morning. And initially we were thinking of making the tarjuma of this kitab. But what can I say? When we looked at the tarjuma of Hazrat Tanvi, we were left speechless that the tarjuma was done already, and then again of that caliber. So when jab maqsad hi bhul gaye, then what do we really expect? We don't even know our objective. You know, on one occasion, these are the days in Fatehpur, when Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb used to look at that wooden desk that was in front of him, and then he would say that what was the maqsad of this? He would explain how did it come and how was it built and from where to where to where it reached here. And then he would ask, what is the maqsad of it? And he would go on explaining these type of examples to us to try and tell us, what is your maqsad? The maqsad of this particular wooden desk is this. But what is your maqsad? So ibadat. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. We have not created jinn and man except so that they can worship me. So what is ibadat? Ibadat is that amal and deed that a banda carries out due to which Allah becomes happy. And abdiyat is that which comes from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the servant then becomes happy. In the akhirat, ibadat will not continue, but most definitely abdiyat will continue. Miyai Ashik wa Ma'shuk Ramzast. Between the ashik, the lover and the beloved. There are some amazing secrets that even the Kiraman Katibin could not get hold of and record it. Only Allah knows it, because it's in the heart of hearts. How would they have the knowledge? What is in the heart of that person? That's the secrets between the lover and the beloved. On one occasion, some firni, some type of dessert, etc., came to Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb. He hardly took a teaspoon or two, and then, we're talking about his old age, and then he gives it to his grandson saying, listen son, you eat it, I'll eat it and commit guna. This was our Buzrugan-e-Deen. This was how they lived their lives. This was their ibadat. This was their focus on the akhirat. On one occasion, out of the blues, I just entered his room. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Saheb was pacing up and down. And what was he saying? Chupir shudi hafiz, es me kada bayrun shuad. You have reached old age. At least now, come out from that brothel. Come out from that bar. Rindi wa hawasnaki dar ahde shababola. All these types of sins, this, that and the other. Okay, you're young, you in your youth, middle age, okay, understood. Point taken. But you have reached old age, then too you have not left and abandoned all these type of sins. Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Alahbadi. Allahu Akbar. It is for this reason when Ibrahim ibn Adham rahimahullah, and this was actually the reason of his tawbah. He left one day with the objective of going for hunting, and he hardly puts his foot into the stirrup when he hears on mounting his horse, when he hears the caller from the unseen saying, Ya Ibrahim, Ali hada khuliqta, O Ibrahim, have you been created for this? He hardly answers, and he's still busy calculating that this, or were you created for this, that he hears the second calling. And what was the second calling? O Ibrahim, ma li hadha khuliqta wa ma bi hadha umirta. You have not been created for this, neither have you been commanded for this. Neither have you been commanded for this. فَالْفَقِيهِ مَنْ فَهِمَ سِرَّ الْإِيجَادِ فَعَمِلَ لَهُ. Therefore, समझदार वो शख्स है जो हिकमत ईजाद को समझकर उस पर अमल करे. The intelligent person is the one who understands the reason behind him being created, and he acts and carries out deeds accordingly. وَهَذَا هُوَ الْفِقْهُ الْحَقِيقِي. And in essence, this is the genuine or true understanding, that which, or that person who has been given this, he has been given the greatest ni'mat. And it is regarding this year that Sayyidina Imam Malik rahimahullah ta'ala would say, لَيْسَ الْفِقْهِ بِكَثْرَةِ الرِّوَايَةِ. Fiqh is not this that you know many narrations, ibarats, you know it just like this. No, that's not fiqh. That's not understanding. وَإِنَّمَا الْفِقْهِ نُورٌ يَدَعُهُ اللَّهُ فِي الْقَلْبِ. True fiqh, true understanding is actually, in essence, genuinely speaking, a nur which Allah Ta'ala places deep down in the heart of a person. And we heard our Shaykh Abul Abbas radiyallahu ta'ala an saying that the faqih is the one in front of whom those veils are. It's moved away from his heart, from the eyes of his heart. Therefore, he can now understand the reason of why he has been created. He has been created to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah ta'ala did not create him except so that he can serve Allah. So this type of an understanding is the reason for him his abstinence in the dunya and turning his attention to the akhirah. And he busies himself with the rights of his master, looking at the end, the akhirat, and preparing for it. So much so that some of these shuyukh and buzrugan-e-deen لو قيل لي, if it had to be said to me, غدا تموت, you're going to die tomorrow, لم أجد مستزادا, that I would not find any change in me whatsoever. Whatsoever, meaning I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. अगर मुझे खबर दी जाए कि तू कल को मर जाएगा, तो अपने नफ्स में कुछ तगय्युर नहीं पाऊंगा. I will find no difference whatsoever. Rather, Hazrath Tanvi writes and he remarks there, क्योंकि आखिरत के लिए तो तैयार ही बैठा हो. I am sitting waiting for the akhirat. Our Hazrat Wala then writes the fire there, Subhanallah, kya hi khoob haal hai. There was a buzrug, his mother said to him that why don't you eat roti? And then he goes on to say, but in roti so much of time gets taken in the chewing, etc. That's why I just suffice on this year, because in that time and in this time here, the difference between that, I'm able to recite 50 ayat of the Quran Majid. Allahu Akbar. Now just look at that. This is how our Buzurgan Muhtaram lived, and this was their lives, etc. So, when they understood this year, the reason of themselves being created, it took their minds away from this world into the Akhirat. It brought in front of them the terrors and the horrors of the day of Qiyamah and the meeting of the grand Creator, the Creator who created the heavens and the earth. The heavens and the earth. So Allah Ta'ala bless us with these high spiritual states. You know, one of our Buzurgan-e-Din, he mentions regarding two great saintly persons. You know, we say the shop, this shop and that shop, referring to this article or the general store or that article, etc. He would say, I seen maine to ishq ki do dukane dekhi, referring to two other Buzurgan-e-Din. I seen two shops of love, where the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was distributed there. Ilahi maqsood man tui wa rizai tu muhabbat wa ma'rifati khud bideh. Oh Allah, my objective, my goal is only you and your pleasure. Therefore, bless me with your love and your recognition. You know, the friend also goes to the king's court, and the thief also goes to the king's court. You know, when the thief enters there and they realize him, they catch him and they start throwing shoes on his head, beating him up, etc. And when the friend comes into the king's court, he's treated with so much of honor, etc. He's shown around. Listen, if you need to use the bathroom, here's the bathroom, here's this, here's that. Allah Ta'ala inspire us. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه